beautiful people. It is the Crypto C. Another day in the life, in the crazy life. That is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. Holy moly, what is going on with the market right now? I don't know. Word on the street is Terra it's got a big decision to make. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. I'm just going to go over a couple of things here with the Terra Luna ecosystem. I think it's a very, very interesting new proposal. I really, really do. So we'll get into that. And of course, we'll go over the market. Some interesting stuff going on with Twitter. Valente is out there tweeting about the BIS. We'll get into that as well. I just got to tell you, I'm really, really excited about what's the possibilities with Luna and this new revival plan. Sorry, guys. Listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. So, guys, listen, let me get into this article. Do Kwon put something out. So here's kind of his take on the proposal. There's been several community and validated groups discussing launching a fork of the Terra chain, a fork of the chain to make the ecosystem whole from the UST depegging attacking event, I like to call. Wanted to offer my perspective on how this should be done. So as of this time, there's still several $1 billion worth of UST, and the value of the Luna token has fallen to essentially zero. Even if the peg were to eventually restore after the last marginal buyers and sellers have capitulated, the holders of Luna have so severely been liquidated and diluted that we will lack the ecosystem to build back up from the ashes. 100%. While a decentralized economy does not need decentralized money, UST has lost too much trust with its users to play the role. Okay, so this is kind of answering my question about UST. So what remains? While UST has been the central narrative of Terra's growth story the last year, the Terra ecosystem and its community is what is worth preserving. 1000%. This is what I was saying the other day. What about Anchor? What about Mirror? What about Astroport? What about Prism? What about all these things that have built around the Luna token? What about that? It was just not UST, it was also the Luna token as well. What about all these ecosystems? I mean, the Terra ecosystem is massive. Not only is it massive, it's productive. These were viable protocols, right? So we built up one of the largest and most vibrant developer ecos in crypto with some of the smartest minds in the world working on products with the best UI and UX. Terra Station has a large install base. That's that wallet with million+ users across the freaking world. 1000%. Although in distress, strong brand recognition and a name that almost everyone in the world will have heard about. He's just a smart guy getting the bigger picture. And I agree with him 100%. The Terra community must reconstitute the chain to preserve the community and the developer ecosystem. And he, to me, is 10,000% correct. I was listening to 333 Crypto this morning and yesterday, and ultimately, these things are about the community. The community is what makes Bitcoin Bitcoin. It's not that it's just 21 million. What if there was no network adoption? Network adoption is another word for the community. And you guys know, if you've heard me say on this channel a lot of times, that the Terra ecosystem it's a monster. Like it's no joke. It is no slouch. It really is. I mean, it's a massive deal. Okay, validators should reset the network ownership to 1 billion tokens, distributing among. Now, before I get into this, I want to just say something about here. So they're essentially saying there's like a fork. And I guess it's going to be like a Luna and a Luna Classic or something like that, right? And I'll get into it some more. I'm sure they go into kind of the details, what they're going to be calling tokens. What they're going to be calling tokens doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Will the fork work? Will the fork be viable? And where is the I think about is and relaunching the chain, I think about what happened with Ethereum and that hard fork there. Think about what happened with Ethereum and its hard fork. Did it work or no? The fork became, right? What came out of that hard fork was Ethereum Classic. Remember that? Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. Now, I don't know yet, because I haven't read the whole article. We're reading it together. I don't know if people who have Luna are going to get the, the Luna Classic. I don't know how that's going to work, right? But what I do know is both Ethereum and both Ethereum Classic are here today. Yeah. Yeah, Ethereum Classic, $60-something at one time. I mean, if you check on ETC, I mean, and this hard fork, by the way, with Ethereum was because of a hack. Terra Luna didn't get hacked; they got attacked. Some might say that's the same thing. Yeah, the difference is, right, with the hack, your quote unquote bad guys, the smart guys out there who know how to hack something, they went and got some money. They put their skills to work, right? So I guess you could say this is a hack because the bad guys, which is Wall Street, they went after UST. That is without question. They recognized a flaw and they attacked it. It wasn't a trade. Give me a break with that trade stuff. It was a conscious effort by Wall Street to try to take something down. That's the bottom line. And then, of course, in my humble opinion, if the likes of BlackRock and Citadel were involved in it, you can forget about it. That you can forget about it. So all-time high for Ethereum Classic got to $167, and I remember after that fork, Ethereum Classic, man, they got attacked several times, right? It just flaws in the chain. They got hacked. I do not think that will happen with Terra or Luna, right? The Luna token. So my point, I guess, is both survive. Both are here today, right? All-time low of Ethereum Classic was 60-something cents. It got to $167 eventually. I think this is a different time. I think that more and more people are in this space. I think the Terra Luna ecosystem is massive. And I think personally, well, I'll just tell you what we are doing, right? We're going to get some of that Luna, right? Right? We missed out on the, initially. Now we have a chance. This is just my thinking. Now we have a chance to participate again. That's just what I'm thinking for the crypto sieges home. Not telling you what you should do with your money. All right, so it says here, validators should reset the network ownership to $1 billion, distributed among 400 million, 40% to Luna holders before depegging event. Before the depegging event. Right? So I didn't have a lot, but I had some before the depegging event. It says here, last $1 tick before the depeg on Binance should be reasonable. So B Luna, Luna X, and Luna held in contracts should also be recipients minus the Terraform Labs account at blank, 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 blank. That's the address. The new chain should be community owned, preserving decent ownership of the network, and the strongest believers and builders is important. I agree. I believe that community thing is massive. So 400 million, 40% to UST holders pro rata at the time of the new network upgrade. UST holders need to be made whole as much as possible. It says pro rata. So to UST holders, pro rata at the time of the new network upgrade. So UST holders would get rewarded as well. But why does this seem like this is saying if you try to help with the DPEC, right? So if you were buying at these pennies prices, looks like you're part of that as well, right? Because the first one says to Luna holders before the depegging event, but for the UST holders, it says pro rata. So let me know in the comments if I'm correct on that. But it sounds like to me that the UST holders before the pegging event and after the pegging event. That's what it sounds like. Anyway, so 100 million, which is 10%. So now we got 400, 400, 800, 900 million. 100 million to Luna holders at the final moment of the chain halt. The final moment of the chain halt. Last minute marginal Luna buyers should be compensated for their role in attempting to provide stability for the network. Okay, cool. And then another 100% to the community, another 100 million to the community pool to fund future development. All Luna besides the third tranche should be staked at the network genesis state. Okay, the network should incentivize its security with a reasonable inflation rate, say 7%, as fees will no longer be enough to pay for security without the swap fees. Okay, so I don't know how new or old that proposal is, 4 days ago. So that's essentially the fault. So call to action, why does this registration make sense? UST holders need to own a large share of the network as an, okay, I don't know if this is new or old. Okay, so this is the fourth thing. So this is not necessarily new, but I think there was an original proposal, and then Do Kwon kind of gave his 2 cents on this forking proposal. So there it is there. It's an interesting thing. FX Street came out with something. Terraform Labs Revival Plan 2 met with a bearish response. Luna price plunged 18.9%. May 17th. The hard fork proposed by Do Kwon will create 2 versions of the token, Luna Classic and Luna Core, which is the original one. Luna Core holders will receive Luna tokens and a fork inspired by Ethereum's 2016 DAO hack. Leading crypto analysts divided on Terra Luna's recovery prospect, of course. Terraform Labs moves to revive the native token without stablecoin UST is similar to Ethereum's hard fork of 2016. The algorithmic stablecoin UST will cease to exist once the revival plan is implemented, since Terraform Labs CEO Do Kwon believes Luna is more than just the Terra USD. I agree. Terra Luna could recover from the crash with the proposed hard fork. Okay, Terra fork to set 2 parallel blockchains, Luna Classic, Luna Core. Do Kwon has recommended retaining both blockchains, the original being Luna Classic and a parallel one being Luna, based on snapshots taken from May 7th. The total supply of the new Luna Core chain would be capped at 1 billion tokens, following the following tokenomics detail below. So there it is. 2% to community, 25% community pool, 1% essentially for developers and emergency, 4%. Okay, cool. 35% all bonded, unbonded Luna minus TFO. Okay, all that's great. The revival plan does not have provisions for traders that sold Luna during the crash and holders that were locked out of the UST tokens and exchange wallet due to the exchange decision to halt the trading. Therefore, UST holders from exchanges like Coinbase have criticized Terra's move. The fork could be a milestone event for Luna and UST holders and aid the token's recovery. The hard fork proposal will be voted in the Terra Eco on the 18th, which is tomorrow. So yeah, it does not. So people who were selling, trying to mitigate the deal. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be voted on. It's going to be voted on. So we'll see. We'll see. Terra hard fork expired. We'll see. And I can add stablecoin. Let me go over here real quick. I gotta hop off here. We have to head out. Stablecoin. Let's see. So we'll check the comments out. People are saying about this. The Sigma grind set continues on Terra version 2. I like it. I like it because again, I think Ethereum and that hard fork, it worked. So we'll see. Man, look at the comments. 7,546 freaking comments. 7,546 comments. That's the proposal. Most people bought Terra after huge dump. So will they also get airdrop or not? They will. That's right. So that's right here. Stable coin. Most people bought Terra after huge drop. So will they get the airdrop or not? Please clear this doubt. There are millions of investors who bought Terra at and thinking they will get version 2 airdrop. It says they will. So people bought Terra on the cheap. We're going to get some kind of airdrop. Now, I know there's a lot of people in the community. I put 50 here. I put 100 here. I put 25 here. Oh, so anyway. Yeah, so there it is, guys. That's the word on the street. I think it's interesting. And as soon as I get off here, I'm going to get the more of the Luna token. I had some, I didn't sell. I told me and Miss Crypto Seeds talked. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to sell the Luna. I'm not going to sell the UST. I think we just hold it, see what happens. So that's what we did. And we personally going to get some more because it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this vote. I don't know how the community is going to see it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is that fair or not fair to, people that were who sold, trying to save? Is it fair to them? I don't know. I mean, the other proposals, they're trying to make people whole. I don't know if you can do both things. Can you make the people whole by doing, smallest wallets? Can they do both? That proposal where they were trying to compensate, since the vast majority of people in any ecosystem are smaller wallets, they were trying to take care of all the smaller wallets. And this is another proposal in having the billionaires and millionaires, kind of take, maybe only get 70%. On their deal there. So I think there's two separate proposals because they fork and doing a new billion token, that's another thing, right? So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See you.
Bye.
Bye.